Hey guys, I know there's a little bit of a lag between YouTube and real time, so let me know if you can hear me okay. And I just got to plug in my iPad here. I'm excited to hang out with you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. Hi! Yay! Hello! Aw, you guys are so nice. So good to see you. Hi! Thank you guys for coming. Oh good, you hear me? Wonderful. Thank you, Marinka. I'm so glad you're here. Oh my goodness, it's 1 a.m., Kayla says. Thank you for coming in the middle of the night, basically. I'm so glad you guys are here. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm really excited. Today, we are going to be looking at the people from Arrtx sent me this gouache set, and it is and also Random Unicorn. I did not get another cup of tea. I wanted to, but I didn't. I kind of ran out of time. That's okay. Oh well. Aw, thank you guys. You're so nice. You guys are so nice. Okay. So anyway, we have this Arrtx gouache set, very similar to the Himi set, and I want to take a look at it with you guys. I have already used it a little, which I recorded for next week's video, so we're going to be talking about that next week. In next week's video, you'll see the unboxing of the set and some close-up comparisons of this next to the Himi gouache. So yeah. That'll be in here a little bit later. Yep. Okay. So what I thought we would do is, usually I have to test out some gouache before I am ready to put stickers on it, like on the box. And I know that I like this one, so I'm going to be putting stickers on it. So I thought that we could do that together, put some stickers on this box together. So I want to show you guys, if I can figure this out. I want to show you guys the stickers I want to put on here today. How do I make this window smaller? I guess I can't, even though I'd really like to. I'm going to adjust the view a little bit. Okay, there we go. Alright. Somebody asked how much these cost. These are the same price as the Himi gouache currently. It's $25 for 18 colors, and it's like 30 milliliter, the jelly cup. So we're not going to open it quite yet. I want to put some stickers on it. So I have stickers from my friends. Oh, that's a good point. Tia said, I've never heard of Arrtx. If Arrtx is the company that distributes the Paul Rubens paints, that's why they reached out to me. I've worked with them before. So they've been really nice to work with, the Arrtx people. So when they sent me Paul Rubens paints, and when they asked if I wanted to try these, I was really excited. Aw, thank you for buying stickers from the shop, Aiden. That's so nice of you. These stickers are all from my friends. Some of them were gifts, some of them I purchased. So these Animal Crossing stickers are from Rebecca Crossing on Instagram. It's really hard not to want to just put all of these on here. So we're going to try to, yeah, the set is on Amazon. I believe there's a link in the description to the gouache set. I didn't include like any other links. Let's see, I'm going to put it like this. Wow, it's so interesting that, you know, obviously it's different times all over the world, but that there's so many of you from different places, and yeah, okay. So, and then I'm gonna put, this one is from Dalton Doodles on Instagram. Put that one over here. I might decide to put more stickers on here at some point, but I'm not sure. Yep, I am in Ravenclaw. Yep, Arrtx does make, they make alcohol-based markers as well. I haven't tried those. Yeah, these Animal Crossing, Rebecca's amazing. In the, like, when I finish the live stream, I'll make sure that there's a link to the artists whose stickers I have on here, so you guys can check them out. If you guys have any questions during the stream, just make sure, like, if you put @ArleeBean, those are so much easier for me to see those comments, and it's less likely that I will miss them. So if you put @ArleeBean and then type your question, I will be much more likely to see it. All right, so let's open this up, and I will adjust my camera just a little, and we'll take a look at the colors. So I haven't opened this since I used it yesterday, so we're going to see what it looks like after having sat overnight. So let's take a look. Oh, Barnfire Art says you're a PA native. We're in southeastern Pennsylvania, about an hour north of Philly. We're in Berks County. So this is what the gouache looks like after a day. It's still very, very, very super wet. Oh, and if you guys are sensitive to, I know a lot of people had mentioned when I did the Himi gouache that it was like upsetting how dirty my gouache gets. It's gonna happen. My paints get dirty, and it actually stresses me out more to try and keep them clean, so I would rather just use them. Oh, hey, we have a member! Guys, I recently launched YouTube memberships, and I'm so honored that that people are signing up for memberships. Thank you. Mary asks, how'd you get captions on the live stream? Oh, it's actually because I'm using a secondary software for my webcam. So I'm using a Logitech webcam, and Logitech has a software called Logitech Capture that allows you to do overlays and filters and adjust white balance and all that stuff. So I do that from the software for this webcam. And yes, I will, Matthew, keep this live stream up as a video, so you'll be able to come back and watch this anytime. So, yep. Bestie boy, you better get your homework done. We're just gonna be hanging out, so just imagine like you're doing homework while we're like hanging out together. I don't know. Some people can do that. Some people can get their homework done while they're with other people, and some people are like, no, I need to be alone. I need to focus. I don't know. It's different for everybody. How is the smell compared to the compared to the Himi set? I don't know. I'm gonna smell them. Oh, here, let me stick my face in it. Hold on. Ooh, something fell over. It smells like paint. It reminds me a little bit of like the smell of acrylic paint, I guess, but it doesn't smell bad. It doesn't have a strong smell. I didn't smell anything until I put my face in it. So that's an interesting question. The colors are different from the Himi set, which you'll see in next week's video. And yes, there should be a link in the description to these paints. They're on Amazon. What's my MBTI personality? Is that the 16 personalities quiz thing? I think I did that one, but I don't really know. I don't really super remember. So this is my Etcher Labs watercolor sketchbook. I've talked about this one before. We actually used this one for the last live stream. So all this stuff that is in this sketchbook, you guys seen, this is the painting that we did in the last live stream. Veronica says, I'm drawing with you. Oh, thank you. Oh, Silcat says, I lived in Berks for the past 10 years. Oh, north of Schuylhaven. Yeah, We are actually in northern Berks, so we're like right at the edge of Berks County. We're really close to Schuylhaven, or to Schuylkill County, rather. So cool. I love the Etcher sketchbook, by the way. Oh, Random Unicorn says, very important question. What's my favorite kind of tea? That is a super important question. I love black teas. So these are, by the way, also, these are the gouache mushrooms that I painted for Patreon for May. All of the Patreon rewards, all these sticker sheets have been shipped now. I had so much fun, mushrooms, vegetables. I had so much fun painting these. And I scanned them and made them into stickers for patrons, and that was so much fun. We'll have a new theme for next month, which is exciting. Yeah, we will be talking about the difference between the set and the set and the Himi set. We definitely will be talking about that. They're very similar, but the colors are different. We'll talk about it. So this is kind of a little bit of a spoiler. I hope you guys don't mind. This is the painting I did with these paints for the video. So, yeah. So this is the painting I did, and then today we are going to be painting this guy over here, and I need to readjust things. The sketchbook is so long. This is a little bit terrifying, but I'm going to put the paints on top here. On top of my other painting. Okay. Yeah. Somebody asked, Marie's has jelly gouache now? I think jelly gouache is such a weird, jelly gouache is such a weird terminology, and I think it's just because they come in these cups. Because it's regular gouache, it just comes in like, I guess, a jelly cup, which is kind of weird. How long will I be streaming? At least an hour. I usually can't do more than 2 hours. I just get a little tired, a little worn out. If somebody's new to gouache, I would recommend, and you're looking for like something cost efficient where you can just have fun and, oh, cover it with something. That's a good idea. You know what? I'm going to put something under here to like not mess this up, because that is terrifying. That's a really good point. Thank you. And this stuff is messy. So let me get something to put under there. What can we get? All right. We're just going to get a piece of paper here to stick underneath here so I don't mess up my other painting. If I could fold it, I wouldn't fold it back behind, no. This is the Etcher Labs watercolor sketchbook. And yes, it is covered now. And this is like the back of a sticker paper, so it's like water resistant. I'm going to put it under this whole page. There we go. All covered, all safe. Okay? Everybody's safe now. Everybody's safe. Make sure that everything looks good. I think this will be an okay camera angle. I'm actually going to shift it and move you guys a little closer. That looks good. And then I'll let you guys see my mixing palette for a little while. Good? Okay. So we'll do it like that. Yeah, that's a really good question. Somebody asked if the yellow of the palette bothers me while I'm painting, and that was another question that I got during the Himi one too, because the Himi gouache, you know, I have the one with the green mixing palette, and for me, I didn't really notice that it affected me. I can totally see how it would, because it's more difficult to see the color that you're working with. I know this is kind of wasteful, but I want to start with a fresh palette, so I'm getting rid of this paint. And oh, that's another thing that I love about using inexpensive gouache, is I'm not worried about wasting dollars worth of paint by cleaning this off. So I need a fresh start, and if that's going to make the painting process better for me, I'm just going to do it. I'm sorry, I just was in the middle of answering a question and then started talking about something different. Oh yeah, the color of the palette hasn't mattered to me so far, but it definitely has for some people. I've heard people talk about that, and if they had a white one, I would pick the white one every time for that reason, but this hasn't been a huge problem so far. So what makes gouache gouache, somebody asked, and that's not a stupid question, by the way, counting by sevens. There's, you know, you don't know until somebody tells you or until you learn. So gouache is a water-based paint. It's like watercolors, but it's opaque. So watercolors are transparent, which means you can see the layers beneath, and you can layer darker colors on top of lighter colors, but you can't put lighter colors on top of darker colors because they're transparent for watercolors. Gouache is just an opaque watercolor, so you can layer colors on top of each other like with oils or acrylic, but yeah. So gouache is water-based, oil paints are oil-based, acrylic paints are acrylic-based, so they're just different bases that all use pigments, so I hope that makes sense. Okay, so this is clean enough for me. And I have this brush here. It's kind of dirty. I've had this brush for years. I got it at Walmart, which is just like a cheap supermarket. And it's a white Taklon synthetic brush. It's round. It's springy. It doesn't hold a ton of water. I think it's perfect for gouache. And it's large. I can't even really tell what size it is anymore. I think this says 6, but it's large. And I'm probably only gonna be using this brush. That I like this one a lot. It's by Royal Langnickel? No, yeah, Royal Langnickel, I think. If I can find the set, I will leave a link in the description when the stream is over. So yeah. Any tips on how to get the perfect mix of colors for skin color? I don't know if I'm the best person to ask because I don't normally do super natural skin tones, like very natural, not supernatural. I don't really usually paint with natural colors for skin. But if you're looking for natural skin colors, I really try mixing like red and green, like red with a little bit of green. That's always fun. Yeah, this is awesome. Like Walmart's synthetic brushes, and also like these, whatever these ones are, they're awesome for gouache. They're like my perfect. They're like my favorite for gouache. To take care of my brushes, I have a brush cleaner that I use, and once every couple months I just gently swirl the brushes in the soap and rinse them. Just once every couple months. I always rinse my brush after having used them, and then I let them dry flat on the table before I put them away. Somebody asked if I've ever considered making paints other than watercolors, and not really. I actually haven't even been making watercolors very often lately because it just takes so much time, and I'm not planning right now, as of now, I'm not planning to sell my watercolors, which means that I just keep making paints that I'm not able to do anything with right now. I just don't have the time to sell them. I want to have the time to sell them, but as of right now I don't. So yeah. And also, if you guys see a question that has already been answered and you know the answer and you wouldn't mind answering it, that would be a big help. I guess I should get some like mediators, like people who can help me with that, you know. We're just gonna start throwing paint on here. Because that's how we do things in here. Somebody asked about the best brush size to invest in. That's a good question. I tend to prefer larger brushes that come to a fine point because I find that you can do a lot more with them. So like this brush, for example, is a larger round brush, so I can use it for larger areas, but I can also use it to paint smaller details because it comes to a nice point. So I like larger sized brushes. So like even like in a regular round, like a size 10. This one's going to be really red, I think, but we're going to add some other colors too. Oh my goodness, so many questions. You guys are amazing. Yeah, I would like to do a paint making live stream someday. I just feel like that would take a little bit more. I have to think about how to set that up because I would have to have everything have a place, and it's just going to take some work and some thought, so. I already know this isn't the color I want here. Oh well. Aw, Andy, thank you for the super chat. Ah, that's so nice. Ooh, subtitles. That's a really good idea. I've actually been thinking a lot lately about hiring somebody to help me with subtitles, you know? To get to make those most efficient and good for everybody. So we'll see. Thank you for the super chat. That's so kind. My goal right now is just to cover as much of oh, I'm glad the live captioning is good. That makes me really happy to hear. I'm just trying to cover a lot of space right now. I haven't used Winsor & Newton gouache. Somebody asked. Yes, and zinc white is not as opaque as titanium white. Titanium white specifically is going to be your more opaque white. And then zinc white is going to be like a more transparent white that is often used for mixing. And I believe that this set comes with what you might call a zinc white and a titanium white. I only opened the titanium white for now. And then if I find that I need because I want to save the other one, and I don't really need to know what the difference is between them right now. I only opened one. I only need one for now. Somebody asked, Armored Fish asked, how are you not terrified of messing up a painting? I mess them up. I just let myself mess them up. And then I just have to, because that's how you learn what is messing it up and what is just painting. It's just going, it doesn't matter if you wreck it. Like, letting that be as true as possible to go, if I wreck this, it's okay, because I need to learn what is pushing it too far. You know, I need to learn what wrecks it. And with gouache, it's nice specifically because you can layer and you can kind of recover to a certain extent, you know, so that's nice. I don't know how long this is going to take to paint, but we'll see how far we get. So somebody asked about watercolor portraits, and you're worried that they don't look realistic and they're coming out too light. That can happen a lot if you're afraid to use more pigment. And also make sure that you're not trying to go into the details right away, you know? Like, give yourself some time to lay down loose layers, like loose washes that cover more area. So the quicker you can get rid of the white of the page, the more you can start to focus on values. So right now I'm not focusing on any specific details in this portrait. I'm just trying to think about what colors I might want to use and to cover up the white areas. So that white of the page can be so glaring and can really intimidate you. So the sooner you can cover it up, the better you're going to be able to see your values more accurately. The sooner you'll, you know. So cover stuff up. Don't be afraid. It's okay to mess it up, especially if you're practicing in a sketchbook. And that's another thing, is make sure you're giving yourself time and space to practice, you know? Don't make it so that everything has to be a perfect painting. Just give yourself time to practice. Like this. This is in my sketchbook. You know, I'm using cheap gouache in my sketchbook. And yeah, and don't be afraid to add more contrast. Think about the areas. That's a really great point. Thank you. Thank you guys for giving each other advice. You're amazing. Yeah. Think about the areas that are the darkest and let them be dark, you know? Put those areas in there. Get that dark spot, you know? And then build all of the values in between, you know? Get the darkness in there and then build up whatever is in between. But make sure you don't just have a dark value and a light value, like just the two. If you're not sure about how your values are going, then you can always take a picture of your painting and edit the picture so that it's in grayscale, and then you can see the values more accurately. I hope that's helpful. Somebody asked, do I prefer Asian brushes or more Western brushes for watercolor? For watercolor, I love calligraphy brushes. They just are so expressive and really help me to stay loose. I love that about them. So for watercolors, I definitely tend to prefer like a more Asian style calligraphy brush. So what I'm doing, another thing I'm doing differently with this painting is, in the first one I did, I mixed a lot of colors. So in this one I'm trying to use the colors a little bit more like right out of the palette, like how they are, just because I want to, I need to see what they look like to better assess like the quality of individual colors, you know? Because like when you mix it, things can get dirty quickly. Oh yeah, that's a really good point, Rashon. Starting with a good drawing, thank you by the way, that's very sweet. Starting with a strong drawing, so important. I hope you guys can see me okay. I know the view's a little strange, like of my webcam. Let's see, what does it look like? Oh, that's okay. No, it's okay. Move you a little closer. Oh my goodness. You guys are amazing. Like you're just talking to each other. Thank you for answering the question about what sketchbook I'm using. You guys are fantastic. I already can't keep up with all of the comments, but I'm just happy to be hanging out with you guys. Dat Sketcher, you're amazing. Thank you. Yes. Will I do a hand study using gouache on Skillshare? Ooh, that's an interesting idea. To be honest with you guys, I'm currently not sure if I will be making more Skillshare classes. Not to say that I never will, but as of right now, I'm considering, you know, it's been over 6 months now since I published my last class, and I've just been allowing myself to focus on other things, and we'll see. I'm not going to say that I'll never do it again. I love teaching classes on Skillshare, and it's been so beneficial for me, like in like so many different ways. So somebody asked, how do I get so expressive with color? I think that's a really interesting question, and an answer that I often give is that I focus on value. So even though this color is like a deep blue, so already kind of unnatural for skin, I'm actually just thinking of it as a dark color. So the fact that it's a dark color means that I'm focusing on the value. So I'm putting it in the places that are dark, and that's my goal right now. And so focusing on value lets me be more experimental with color. I'm also kind of thinking about keeping in mind that I want like a cool sort of color scheme. So lots of greens and blues, cool reds, that sort of thing. I know that I want that for this, so I'm keeping that in mind as well. Because the other one I did was very warm, so I wanted to allow this one to be more cool. That's the goal. That's a really good point, Donna, like making classes that I sell individually instead of like on a platform like Skillshare. I'm strongly considering it, and if I didn't do Skillshare anymore, that's what I would do. Maybe I should check in with you guys and see if that's something you'd be interested in. So instead of paying for like a monthly subscription and saying, oh, I wonder when Arleesha's going to make a new class. Obviously, not that anybody would have Skillshare just for me, that's silly, but because there are a lot of really great classes on there. But yeah, I think that's what I would do if I wasn't gonna make classes on Skillshare. We'll see. Just host things on my website. You buy the class and then you have it forever. You don't have to be online to watch it. I think that could be really cool. That's fantastic. Someone asked, what brushes do you recommend for watercolors when starting out? That's a tough question. Let's see. I love round brushes. You can get synthetic brushes that will hold a bit more water, because using natural hair brushes when you're first getting started can be a bit intimidating because they're so juicy, but learning water control is like really should be a top priority. So I love calligraphy brushes. They do hold a lot of water, which can be intimidating, like I said, and it can feel like they're difficult to control, but I think it's worth learning water control. You know, I think it's worth making that an early priority. You know, learning how to control the water. Oh, Diana just asks, how was my day? It's been a good day so far. Let's see. I slept in, and then, which meant I just spent extra time laying in bed with my husband, which was always fantastic. And then the kids had breakfast. And what did I do? Oh, I played a little bit of Animal Crossing this morning to check in on my villagers. And what else? Made some tea. And then my family went outside to play for a bit before it gets too hot, because it's starting to get warm here during the day. So I went outside and played tag with my kids, and we chased each other around in the backyard, and it was fantastic. So that was really fun. So I ran around with them in the yard, and then came inside and, you know, tried to make sure that I had everything set up and ready to go for the stream. It's just been a really chill day, slow paced. And I've been looking forward to this. I've really been looking forward to hanging out with you guys. So nice. What is the best gouache you have used, jelly or tube? That's a weird thing, and somebody already commented, like, calling them jelly gouache I think could be a little deceptive for beginners, because it makes you feel like jelly gouache is its own thing, and it's kind of not. Like, it's just a lot of gouache in a container. So, like, quote unquote jelly gouache is just regular gouache that's in a little cup instead of a tube. So jelly gouache is regular gouache. It's just the jelly is reference to the way that it's stored. Juicy brushes. Ooh, yeah. If you're looking for juicy brushes, if you have the money, the silver black velvet brushes are amazing. They're fantastic. I love them. If you're looking for something cheaper, calligraphy brushes are fantastic. And I specifically would recommend Blue Heron Arts. I'll leave a link in the, okay, I need to like make a list of things that I need to put in the description. So, Sketchbook, hold on, I need to make a quick list. Sketchbook, the sketchbook I'm using, I'll leave a link. And then also Blue Heron Arts for brushes. It's a family-owned company in California. Henry Lee and his wife run the shop together, and they're so sweet, and they have some calligraphy brushes that I really love, and he has a YouTube channel, and they're really sweet. So Blue Heron Arts, they're great, they're super sweet. And yeah, jelly gouache, I think that the reason that jelly gouache doesn't, oh really, different formulas for jelly gouache. I haven't really thought about that. That's a great point. Thank you for pointing that out. Of course, I'm not a master on any of this stuff, and I'm not, but it works, from my experience, it works pretty much the same as gouache out of a tube, but that's a great point. I can't really say that I vastly prefer one over the other, just because they're different and I use them for different things. So the jelly gouache here I might use more for like sketchbook stuff and to play around. It's great even for like scanning in to use for stickers. It's great for that. I'm gonna try to be selective about this warmth, because I don't want it to get too warm. That's a great point. Thank you for pointing that out. Ooh, how this gouache would dry / reactivate if you took it out of the cup. That's a good question that I don't really know the answer to. Yeah, especially if you had like a type of palette that you would prefer to use, you know? I don't know. It does dry over time, you know? It doesn't stay like this forever. Like you'll see on the next YouTube video that my Himi gouache has started to dry out. And it does look different now. I'm just trying to cover up some of this white now. Even if the color changes, I need to cover some of the white here. Yes, zinc white is the more transparent one. Someone asked how references affect my work, and what was it? And what do they mean for your painting process? So I am using a reference right now, which is helping me to see color temperature and to keep the pose in mind. That's what the reference is for. So I'm not necessarily trying to capture the likeness of the person that I'm painting. I'm just trying to see transitions in colors, so where the color gets more red or where the color gets more green, you know, that's what I use references for, to see how the color changes, to see the lighting, all of that stuff. Okay, I've been kind of fiddling with this piece for a little while now, and I need to start to make some decisions about what I actually want it to look like. Otherwise, I can just keep fiddling. And I need to think about the areas I haven't painted at all. Get those covered up. Ah, Laura, thank you for the super chat. Do I think that this set or the Himi set are good for beginners? Yes, absolutely. It's paint that doesn't get in your way. Thank you, Samuel. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, Laura, I think that the paints don't get in your way, and they allow you to learn about working with opaque paints while still being affordable. They're obviously not like the super highest quality of gouache, but they're fun, you know? This is fun. It's fun. Charlene asks, how do you manage to avoid dirty colors through the layers? One of the biggest tips I can give you for keeping your layers clean is to make sure that you're not trying to put wet gouache, like super watery layers, on top of thicker layers. Like if you're going to do watery layers, you got to do them first. Otherwise, you are just going to reactivate the paint underneath when you put down a new layer, and that's super important. So unless you're intentionally wanting to like this layer I'm putting down right now is pretty wet, it's pretty loose, but I kind of want it to melt into the places where I put it, and I'm putting it down in places where I haven't put paint yet, so I'm not really worried about it ruining or muddying my color. So yeah, reserve your looser like wetter layers for the beginning, and then let your paint get thicker as you go. I hope that makes sense. Ooh, eggs and sausage for breakfast. That sounds delicious. Stick to a limited color palette. That's huge. Oh, my dog can draw better than you. Wow, you must have an incredibly talented dog. That's amazing. I mean, not to say I'm incredibly talented, but to go, like, wow. For a dog to be able to, like, do really good at drawing makes it a super special dog. Are there different colors in this set? Yes, compared to the Himi. Yes, there are different colors. There are some staple colors that are similar, but there are definitely some that are different. And we will be talking about there will be, I'll be showing you guys the differences in next week's video. Spaghetti and coffee. Oh, that's funny, Ren. Oh my goodness. Yes, please. Random Unicorn, you're incredible. We want to keep it friendly, guys. Yeah. Let's be nice, guys. We're here to hang out and be kind to each other. That's important. Dat Sketcher says, what have you and your family eaten today? I had some tea, and I had a hot dog. But it was a really good hot dog. It was like from this local meat place that's like locally raised. Anyway, it's good. It's from a local like small business, and they're like massive hot dogs. I don't know why I'm talking about hot dogs. It was good. Okay, moving on. I need more tea though. I'm missing the tea. Don't be scared to open your palette because you're afraid you'll mess up, because the truth is, you will. You will mess up. Sometimes we all mess up, and you have to just let it happen. Like, just let the messing up happen, and you'll learn from it. Like, you gotta let it happen, and you gotta let yourself learn from messing up. Because your art needs to be for you first. So if you're automatically thinking about how you're gonna share, like if we're automatically going to focus on how you're going to share your art, then it's not worth making it. To just go, oh, I need this to be good so that I can get likes on the internet. That's a waste of time, guys. Yeah, gourmet hot dogs. Yeah. Aw, thank you, Megan. Aww. I know, it's so hard not to be self-critical. It really is. And like, one of the biggest things I learned when I found that I was being really hard on myself was, like I said, I was thinking about sharing my art before I was thinking about making it. So you're sitting down going, like, you're thinking about that post, you're thinking about the Instagram post or wherever you share your art and going, this isn't gonna do good there. Then that's no good, you know? You can't start there. If you're making art for the internet, you're never going to be satisfied, because there's always going to be somebody better than you. Even the professionals, like, there's always going to be somebody better than everybody. So you can't start from that, you know, that basis of needing to be the best at it. Yeah, experimenting. Experimenting is so important. Yes, you guys. Get messy, make mistakes. That's right. So important. Okay. 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 The key to good art is bad art, says Max. So true. That's so true. Alright, I want to get to work on this other eye. There's so many questions, oh my goodness. Somebody asked, how did I learn how to draw? Pretty frustrated with your art. Scared of missing point. Yeah, you gotta, like, I learned how to draw by making a lot of art that I didn't like. I know I keep talking about that, but it's so important. Like, I made so much art that I didn't like, and you have to learn, and I needed to observe, and I needed to let myself use reference. That's important. Like, it's okay to, like, if you never open your sketchbook, then you're definitely never going to learn. And it's so interesting to go like, oh, I'm so unhappy with my art right now. But if you never open your sketchbook, what is it that you're unhappy with, you know, because you're not making anything. Like, that was something I had to tell myself. Like, I'm so unhappy with where I'm at right now, but I'm not making art, so I'm not actually anywhere right now, you know? You have to be able to, you have to make stuff so you can see what you don't like, you know? Yes, putting in the dark values is what really pulls all of the stuff together, because contrast and, you know, value balance is the key. But it wouldn't work if they were all dark values, you know what I mean? Because then you wouldn't be able to see anything. So we need some dark values, we need some light values, we need the in-between stuff. Gotta work it together. And I hope that I don't sound harsh when I say don't do that or don't think that way, because it's really like things I had to tell myself too, and I still have to tell myself sometimes, you know. My reference, Jess, is just an image from Pinterest. I use a lot of reference images from Pinterest for practicing and sketching and stuff. And sketchbook times. Somebody asked what my favorite sketchbook is. For watercolors and gouache, I would probably say this Etcher Lab sketchbook is currently my favorite. I love it. It's so nice. Ooh, this is hard. That was a little messy. That's okay. It's actually really nice. And I'm picky about watercolor sketchbooks. There are a lot of watercolor sketchbooks that I don't like. But this one I'm enjoying very much. I will make a whole video about it at some point. I just haven't gotten there yet. There was another question that I saw and I missed it. I'm sorry. Do my kiddos do art? They do. Excuse me. I just burped a little. My daughter especially, that girl, she is 6 and she loves to make art. Every day she's like making stuff and giving it to me, and I have to like, I have a folder where all of my art from her goes because there's just so much of it. I love streaming because it gives me the opportunity to answer questions like quickly and openly, you know, and it doesn't have to somehow be a part of like whatever we're talking about in the video. We can just talk about stuff. I think that's great. Do I want this to be dark? Not really, but I want this to be dark. So yeah, like right now I'm just thinking about darkening up some spots. I'm loving your guys' questions. Thank you. So I'm kind of at the point now where I need to think about what I want to do. Ooh, the Kadi handmade sketchbook. I've heard a lot of good things about it too. I'll have to look into it. I've heard a lot of good things. I'm trying to figure out what color I want to go up here. Or if I want a color to go up there. Don't know. So nice hanging out with you guys. Yeah, and my son does like to do art too. He is maybe not quite as interested in it as my daughter, but he likes it. They're just different, you know? Eye shape is so hard. Like trying to get the pupils to like match each other and to make sense, because I feel like right now individually they're okay, but together I'm not sure if they work. It's hard. How's the COVID situation in your place? We're still on lockdown. I believe it's supposed to be lifting in the next week or so, like, you know, starting to open things up. I'm not sure about the specifics. But things haven't changed too much for us here at home because we work from home mostly. So we've been all right, you know. We've been able to get stuff done and work and take care of the kids. It's been largely, you know, all right for us. This other eye is really tripping me out. Do you often have a color palette ready for your painting? So for this one, this one's a good example because it's something that I do with most of my stuff, is I knew that I wanted cooler colors than the one I did before. So knowing that was helpful. But other than that, I didn't have the colors planned very often. Sometimes I do, but I think more often I don't have super heavy, super detailed plans for colors. Ugh, this is hard. I'm trying to think about what this needs, because I do think that it needs something, but I'm not sure exactly what that is. I think I need to knock this white out. Oof, I don't know what to do. Yeah, I'll share my Pinterest. Okay, I'll add that to the list of things to put in the description is Pinterest. Pinterest. So you guys can see how I organize my Pinterest boards and the references I use if you want. I think it's all public. All of my art related boards are public, so. Yeah. For this one, somebody asked how I choose limited palette, like how I chose this limited palette. For this one, I mostly wanted to utilize some of these like pastel colors in the set. So like some of these greens and purples I wanted to use more of, and then like this blue over here, I just wanted to use more and see what it looks like and how the color lays. So I was kind of thinking about that for this particular one. Yeah, okay, let's see. Ooh, sorry, I totally just hit the camera. Oh, Marinka, yeah, we did the Inktober zine in 2018. That was so fun. What a special project that was. I loved getting to do that. You guys helped. You guys really did make a difference. Like, that feels like so long ago, but we raised money and we helped out. Oh, that was special. I would love to do like a charity, some sort of, and it seems like such a good time, you know, to like raise money, give money, help people out. I know it's a tough time, you know, it's a tough time. So not everybody can, but we'll see what we can do, right? Yeah, making the left eye more relaxed. Yep, I'm gonna think about it. I'm trying to think about the best way to do that. I think that just adding like a subtle shading to the eye so that it doesn't seem so open, you know, we'll get there. Because this one's really in shadow. There's lots of shadow going on over here. And we do need some more balance. Yeah. Yeah, soon we'll do something and see what we can work out, how we can help together. Because like, what's the point of like, you know, I don't know. I don't want to just make this all about me. That doesn't really feel like a beneficial time spent, you know? I'm kind of fiddling a lot now. Not making a ton of progress, but that's okay. Somebody asked if I've considered making a Discord server. I have thought about it. I've been thinking about it a lot, actually. The only problem is that I don't spend a lot of time on Discord, and I'm worried that I wouldn't spend a lot of time on Discord, so I wouldn't want, and I know it's not just about me, you guys could talk to each other, which is great. I just wouldn't want to start something that I wouldn't be able to actively contribute to, you know? We'll see. I could be in occasionally, but it wouldn't be like all the time, you know? Oh, and somebody just asked dogs or cats, and which reminded me that somebody had asked before if we have any pets. We do have one pet. We haven't, like, since my kids were born, we haven't had a pet. But we have a bearded dragon now. She's great. She's a good lizard. She's still young. She's like, let's see. She's maybe 6, 7 months old. Somewhere in there. I don't know. We're not exactly sure. But she's a good lizard. I don't know. My husband was watching the last stream. I don't know if he's watching this one or not. But husband, if you are watching this stream, could you feed her? Do we have a troll? Guys, let me know. If there's somebody in here causing trouble, we'll take care of it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about meeting her. Pancakes or waffles? Oh, that's tricky. My husband makes really good pancakes. He makes like, he like fries them a little bit more. And they're like crispy. So I love his pancakes. But I love, if we were talking like standard pancakes, like a standard soft pancake or a waffle, I would pick a waffle. Is vellum or Bristol recommended for gouache? I don't know. They're really smooth. I've never used them for gouache. You could. I don't think that you could just not, but I don't know. I don't know. If anybody else has tried it, please let me know. Yeah, my kiddos are 6 and 4. My daughter is 6 and my son is 4. Their birthdays are in September. So in September they're going to be 5 and 7, which is insane. Yeah, mom mode activated. I take care of you guys. If somebody's bothering you, you just let me know. Oh, Artemis is such a great name. Artemis, I remember when I was studying Greek mythology in school, Artemis was like, ugh, I just love that name so much. Our Beardy has come out a few times. Like she hangs out with me. I hold her every day, but sometimes she'll come out and sit like at my computer desk with me. But she hasn't been out here, like on the drawing table. Now that it's summertime, it's gonna be a little bit warmer. Once it's like warm enough for her, we want to, because she's still young, so she's a little bit more sensitive to temperature. But once it's warm enough, we want to take her outside and have her around a bit more. We'll get there. I don't want a ton of definition in this eyebrow, but I want it to be there. The shape is important. And this front edge of this eyebrow is a little bit darker. Oh, I just brought that down too low. Okay. See, now I'm just using a wet brush to smudge some of that so it's not as stark. Do I like to use a pen for sketching? I did for a little while. There was like a chunk of time where I was really into pen sketches, but lately I've just been enjoying like a standard mechanical pencil so much. I still don't erase hardly ever when I sketch, but I've really been loving like a mechanical pencil for sketching. I'm just adding in some hair strokes here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. My favorite Harry Potter movie? Oh my gosh, that's hard. Maybe it's so difficult to even have a reason because they're all so like individually special. But when I think about specifically like Deathly Hallows Part 1, there's just something in that atmosphere of like this break away from what has been their lives. You know what I mean? This break away from being at Hogwarts and this year after year at school, even though obviously it was always tense for them, but that there was just something in that intensity and the newness of like stepping into, I don't know, something different that I remember very fondly. Yeah. But I don't know if I could pick one where I go, yes, this one is absolutely my favorite. So that's too hard. I'm trying to think about what this needs to be done. I know that this other eye is kind of a mess, but I like it. I like that it's a mess. Another important step or important tip I would give for using colors is to let colors be in different spots. So, you know, don't just, if you have a color, you want it to be present in more than one area. So, and a good way to accomplish that is to think about, excuse me, the purpose that the color serves as far as value goes, you know? So, and then think about where you can use that value somewhere else. Someone just asked a question I wanted to, do I ever do local art shows and events? Oh, I would love to. When things are back to normal, I will think about it. My biggest problem is actually that I'm just scared. Like, I'm so nervous. We have an art gallery in my town. It's a tiny town. Our town has a population of like 4,000 people, but there's a small art gallery. And all I have to do is go fill out an application. And I can bring my art there. And then I can volunteer there a couple times a year. But I'm like so scared. Silly. So silly. Oh. Anyway. I totally could do it, but I'm just scared. Aw, Gab. Thank you. That's so sweet. Yeah. Isn't that crazy how, like, when you find an artist, I'm not talking about myself here, but like when you find an artist that you admire so much and you go, this is what I want. Like, this is what I want out of art. And there have been multiple artists that I've felt that way about. Like, people, some of those people are my friends, and I'm like, this is it. They're doing it. They're doing what I want out of my art. And it's okay to spend a little bit of time there, I think, in studying a person and really admiring their work. But there were times where I had to like really separate myself from some of those artists. Like, if they made videos, I had to stop watching them for a little while and then come back to them later. And like I just had to, that's not really in focus. I had to give myself some more time away from them. And because I was so focused. No, I don't want to change the zoom. I want to change the focus. Please. That's so much better. Sorry, we were like out of focus for no reason, guys. Anyway. Yeah, you have to like separate yourself from other people sometimes, or other artists that you admire, so you can figure out what you want to do and like what is you, you know? Yeah. I hope that made sense. I'm not sure how much more I'm gonna do on this piece. It's like, it's approaching a spot of, I've done everything I wanted to do with it, you know? So let's back up a little. I do need to darken this mouth corner though. Yeah. Okay. Let's back up. Who's eating tape? Alright, let's back up a little. And we're going to look at this. And I'm gonna think if there's anything else I want to do to it. This is what my palette looks like currently. I don't know if there's anything else I need to do with this right now. Let's think. Help me think. The photorealistic phase is a really interesting thing. I'm an obsessive hair twirler, by the way. Constantly twirling my hair, I'm sorry. Somebody asked, did I ever go through a photorealistic phase with my art? No. I've never really felt drawn to that level of detail and the time it takes to get. That's kind of how I ended up where I am, because I don't like to be super precise. I'm not good at it, and I'm not good at spending a lot of time on something. So that's kind of how I ended up where I am. You know, I spend less time on things and I am looser because I didn't enjoy, and I don't have the patience, and I'm not very good at, you know, spending more time. Oh, a cat eating tape. That's who's eating tape, I see. Distilled water better to reactivate than tap water. I think that the benefit of tap water, in my experience, distilled water is less likely to cause mold. So the water is a bit more filtered or purified or whatever the specifics are. So sorry, I don't know what's happening with my hair, but I believe that to be, wow, that's large. I believe that to be benefit. I don't know. What are we going to do? Let's take a look at the two side by side. You want to? I don't want to end the stream, but I think I'm done with this. So let's take a look. Here, let me adjust what we're looking at here, so you can see these two next to each other. And we will refocus too. Excuse me, iPad. Could you give us some room here, please? So this is what we've got, and I will readjust the focus. Like this. So this is what we've got, these two. So I wanted something cooler on this side. I got that, and I'm happy about it. This one was way warmer, still very fun. Do I ever wear contacts? I have never worn contacts. I actually, when I was a teenager, I wore colored contacts because I thought they were cool. But at the time, I didn't need glasses. I didn't need glasses until I was 18, 19, 20, somewhere in there, 19, 20. And, but I've never worn, prescription contacts before. My prescription's not super strong, but, Rembrandt Black Oxide Mixing Watercolor Palette. I've never heard of it. I'll look it up. Oh, you guys want to see the reference? That's a good idea. Thank you, Cad. Alright, let's look at the reference. Thank you, guys. You guys are fantastic. Okay, let's look at the reference. I'll pull it up. So this is the reference I was using. And it's so crazy because the first thing that I see when I look at this reference is that I could have pushed my values even further. You know, this whole section of the face being in shadow and then being lit from this side and lit softer from this side. There's big picture stuff that I didn't get, but that's okay. I'm happy with how this looks, but this is the reference I was using. And I'm content with the ways that it changed from the reference, so. It's weird when you try to zoom in because then it wants to recommend stuff to you. Come on, Pinterest. We don't need that. We just want to see our picture, please. Anyway, so yeah, this is the kind of thing that I was looking at here. And I liked this outer shape of the face. How do we go back? Okay. I liked the outer shape of the face here, the angle, the hair swooping, So that's kind of how the reference was working for me this time. Paul Rubens layered watercolor. Okay, so there are some different colors. Somebody asked what time it is here. It is 2:08 p.m., which means we have been streaming for just over an hour, which sounds about right. Yeah, the stark white on here I think is really important. Yeah, like a super light color over here. I could have even gone lighter. I could have pushed the contrast even more. Yeah, but it's really fun. Thank you guys. Wow. Okay, real quick, before we end the stream, I will show you guys the difference between the Arrtx colors and the Hemi colors real quick. What's your camera setup like? Right now I have my laptop is you guys, and there's a webcam here. This is a Logitech C. If I stick my face under here, will I be able to see? It doesn't say. Logitech C2090, C290, I don't remember. It's a Logitech webcam that is on a stand that's clamped to my desk coming up over. This isn't my standard like filming setup for YouTube videos, but okay. Alright guys, let's take a quick look at the difference between these two palettes, shall we? Sorry, that just got really bright. Okay. This is the edge of the table, isn't it? Let me do some quick adjusting. There, that's nice. So, this is the Arrtx palette. Rainy Blue asked if I wanted to see the art you made while yes, please. If you're on Instagram, tag me on Instagram in a post or a story post. I would love to see what you guys make. If you tag me in a story post on Instagram, I would happily share it in my stories to let other people know that we're painting together. That's so great. So there's that. And then this is my Hemi set. Please tag me on Instagram, or you can email me or send me a message on Instagram, however you would like to do it, guys. Okay. So let's take a look. Now this Hemi set, I have had this for a year, and I haven't used it I haven't used it in a couple of weeks, but I've had it for like a year. So you're gonna see what this paint looks like after a year. Come on. Okay. Okay. So hopefully you guys can see how like the paint does kind of crack and crumble and dry out in the pan over time, which is kind of expected. I would be surprised if it didn't do that. Someone asked if art is my main job. Yes, art is my job. So the green set is Hemi, and the yellow set is Arrtx. This is what happens to them over time. You can see these, there's still a lot of moisture in here. Let me show you guys a little bit closer. This color, especially this like Prussian blue, has stayed so wet. It's weird. While the other ones, they're a little squishy when you press on them, but the surfaces are dry. Some of them are harder than others, and this black just like shrunk. So it happens over time. I would expect this to happen to any paint, really. It looks cursed. Yeah. Yeah, if you don't like dirty palettes, close your eyes, because this is what my palette looks like all the time. All of my palettes are dirty. So I like them that way, because then I don't have to stress about keeping them clean. I like them dirty. Okay. Focus you in again. It's really hard for me to say which one I prefer. One thing that I think is cool, I want to check to see, is if these jelly cups are the same size. So like if you could customize, oh, I just stuck my finger in that orange. If you could customize, yeah, you can just reactivate them with water. So let me see if I can just swap them. So like, can I put this in here? Yeah, and you can put this in here. So if you had one and you were trying to figure out if you wanted to get the other one, there are different colors. So you could swap them, you could customize, you could, you know, narrow it down to colors that you like. I love this warm red. I like this warm red a lot. And I've used a ton of it. I'm missing that down here. And these greens, are not as useful to me as the Hemi greens because these are darker and I can mix darker colors with them more efficiently. So overall, as far as the colors are concerned, I think I prefer the colors in the Hemi set. You know, if I was like if I was gonna pick one, I think I would prefer the colors in the Hemi set. But these pastel colors in here are actually a lot of fun, and I did use them a lot. They're more convenience colors, and this one I think is more standardized for mixing. So, sorry, I have an orange finger now. I think if you were going, I want a standard gouache set that I can get out to use gouache, and it was the only gouache set you said, I think I would pick the Hemi one. But if you were like, hey, I already have some gouache by some other brands and I want to try something different and fun, then I can recommend this one. I think you can still do a lot with this one and mix colors that you want, you know? So I think they're both a lot of fun, and I think that the different sets are going to suit different people. I like the browns in this set. This one only has the one. I think there's too many greens in the Arrtx set, and for like a standardized palette. So they, someone asked what the cost difference is. I checked before I started the stream and they cost the same currently. They're both $25. So, oh yeah, you can put them in a Ziploc bag to help keep air out. Gab asked if I ever received education for art. I never went to art school, but that doesn't mean I wasn't educated. I just learned from YouTubers and Skillshare classes. I don't think that any of us are really self-taught. We all learn from somebody, you know? Unless you literally never learn from anybody, a video or a book or anything. I just never had a formal art education. Yeah, they're very similar. Another thing that's different, here, I'll put the lids on to show you another thing that's different. One moment, please. Oh yeah, I'm sure that this is a little scary. I'm gonna put this on here. I don't know if I want to tip it, but okay. So, okay, the bottoms are the same. Okay, that was terrifying. I never want to do that again. The Hemi one's $22? Okay, I got a little bit of the blue on here, but other than that, it was okay. I usually will sometimes let this palette dry before I put the lid on, but okay. We've been streaming for a little over an hour, and you guys can expect to see the unboxing for the Arrtx gouache on next Thursday. Thank you to anyone who left a super chat during the live stream. So nice of you guys. So yeah, like for example, like I just want to talk about, I don't like any of these sketches. I think they're all a mess, but I had to do these bad ones. Like I had to let the bad ones happen, you know? Like it's okay. Like you just gotta let stuff you don't like happen, and it's okay. Not everything you do will be something that you love, I think. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with me during the stream. I had a lot of fun with you. I hope you guys had fun too. There will be a really nice, I hope, video of the unboxing, and yeah. What I look like without my glasses? I look like this, minus the part where my glasses are. Yeah. Okay. I hope you guys are all doing well. An old sketchbook tour. I have an old sketchbook tour on the channel from like, well, first of all, the video is old. And also, yes, the video will be up to watch later. So the video is old, and also when I did the video, I was showing old sketches, showing old sketchbooks. So if you go to my channel and search for sketchbook tours, you'll be able to see it. It's old. Maybe 2018, 2017. Thank you guys. Oh, you guys are amazing. Royal and Langnickel watercolors. I will look them up and we'll see what I can find. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for being here. And I will talk to you all a little bit later. The stream will be up once it's done processing. You'll be able to watch it. So have a great day, everybody. This is the Etcher Labs watercolor sketchbook. They're 100% cotton cold press sketchbook. I like it a lot. Okay, I keep saying bye and then not leaving. Okay, bye. Bye, guys.